Hey y'all, I wanted to chat with you about this revelation that I had, and it's been proven, it's been tested, tried and true, and it's been something that people have been saying for so long, but I didn't understand. Like I was saying it, but I didn't understand. I wasn't embodying it, um, and the reason is because of my issues with choice and not feeling like I could really choose the outcomes that I wanted in life and the things that I wanted in life. And I didn't really feel like I had the ability to choose, make decisions in my life because of this chronic trauma and complex trauma that I experienced at a very young um, age, where you're going through developmental stages and you're really growing, um, you know, and learning and really developing into, uh, a human being. And because I experienced trauma at a young age, where my choice and my autonomy and my agency was taken from me, I had a hard time believing that I could choose the life that I wanted and I could make decisions for myself. I was doing the things like, I'd finish school and I start a business and do a lot of things, make certain choices and decisions. But the fact that I wasn't getting some of the things that I deeply wanted, like down in my soul and in my core, was a reflection of what I truly believed that I deserved and what I truly believed that I could gain in this lifetime. So the thing is, the reason why you're not attracting the things that you want out of life, the reason why you're not getting the things that you're dreaming about, the things that you daydream of, the things that you vision for your life, the reason why you're not getting it is because of your choices, okay? It's because of what you believe about yourself, what you believe that you deserve. And on the surface, you might feel like you act like you deserve these things, but deep down, you're not truly believing it. And that's why you're not getting it. We are what we attract. So if there's things in your life that you don't like, or that you wish you could change, whether it's your finances, whether it's your health, whether it's your mental health, whether it's your romantic life, your partner, your dating life, the reason why you're not getting it is because you're choosing not to. It's this concept of choice that is really hard to believe and really easy to brush off when you haven't had the option to choose, when your right to choose was taken away from you. So you understand it intellectually, but to really embody it and to apply it in your life is really hard. It's hard to comprehend. And you think that you know it, but you don't really know it. I swear you don't know it. But once you catch on to it, it's life changing. Like the world is a whole new place. It literally feels like you're born again. Honestly, if you're looking around your life, and I've been in a situation where, I had people around me that I was keeping around me, friendships, romantic relationships that were pissing me off, to be frank. They were irritating, people that were complaining all the time, people that were, partying all the time, people that lacked drive and ambition. And the reason why these people were still around me was because at that time, there was something inside of me that believed that I was in the same place. I was in the same place as them. I was relating to them on that level. But I was keeping them around because there was something inside of me that was still in that space of wanting to party and wanted to numb myself and just not care and kind of self-sabotage. And I would be irritated when these people would ask to go out, ask to engage in certain activities or to party in a certain type of way. I would get annoyed, but I'd be right there. And I was starting to get frustrated with my relationships. And, that hangover feeling the next day when you have the physical hangover of like the alcohol that's doing its dirty work through your body, making you feel super hungover and dead. You get that mental hangover too, where you get super depressed. You're like, what am I doing with myself? Why am I doing this? Because you know that your actions are not really aligning with the vision that you have for yourself. But they are aligning with where you see yourself in the moment. And the only difference and the only thing that you need to do to get yourself to the place that you vision for yourself is to make that choice, is to make that change. But again, when you're someone who has dealt with trauma, you still feel like you don't have that choice. You feel like you're making the choice to go out every weekend, which is true, but you don't really believe that you deserve better. So that's why you keep doing these things. And sometimes you be surrounding yourself with friends who are just rude, like disrespectful, arrogant, just completely, like no integrity. And you're surrounding yourself with these people because there are traits within yourself that is relating to these things. And there's things about yourself that you admire about these people. And so whether it's this disillusioned confidence that certain people have, or this certain type of power that certain people have by being the loudest in the room, or by being a certain level of aggressiveness or directness, or just like treating people like pushovers. There's a certain piece of you that believes in that, and then you be getting so pissed off when you're around these people, but you're choosing to be there, and you feel like there's something in there that you're gaining for yourself or that you need, because you truly don't believe that there's other options, that you deserve better. And outside of friendships, say there's relationships, certain type of romantic partners that you're attracting that are on a different level than you are. Maybe they're still working through things in their life, or they have a lot of emotional baggage, or they don't have the same self-care practices that you have, or they have a different lifestyle, or they have different values than what you truly believe. They don't have a certain standard of living. Say, you have your own place, you have your own car, you're like, trying to eat well and exercise and do all these things, and people that you're attracting are kind of like in their building phases. That's a reflection of where you think you're at. You don't feel like you can attract better. You don't feel like you can attract a person who is in the stage of stability and security, because you don't feel like you are stable or secure enough to deserve that. And so you tolerate relationships that are beneath what you envision for yourself because you don't truly believe that you deserve better. And the only thing that's between you and the life that you want are your choices. So you're choosing, because based on what you believe for yourself, to stay at a certain lifestyle that doesn't align. And let's take it out of relationships. Let's focus on, food and health and fitness and nutrition. Like, what type of quality of health do you want for yourself? And you can say that you want to be healthy, you want to be fit, you want to have, healthy eating patterns and like healthy movement patterns and healthy skincare routines, and you take care of your hair, and you go to see certain practitioners, you go for massage, you go for chiro, you see a naturopath, you do all these things. You can say you want these things. You can say you want to be a certain size, but every day you're going to buy that bag of chips and that bottle of pop. Do you really believe that you deserve to have a certain state of health? You're just sitting around with pain every day. Each day your range of motion, your mobility is decreasing. Each day you're going up a set of stairs and you feel like your heart is about to drop out of your chest, but you don't want to go for a walk every day. You don't want to take some time to join a gym. You don't want to swap those bag of chips and that pop out for some carrots and a bottle of water, because you don't really believe that you deserve to have a certain state of health. You don't really believe that you can make those changes. You think it's too hard, and you think, you put the choice and the responsibility on someone else. But the choice is yours, babe. The choice is absolutely yours. And when you realize that, despite your past, despite your experiences, despite your current circumstances, life really changes for you. Opportunities start showing up. Because I say this all the time. You cannot be a lazy manifester. And I know this manifesting is like a buzzword, and we don't really like it. We don't really believe it. I was even sick of it for a while. But I'm telling you, when you actually lock in and tap in to the power of choice and autonomy and agency over your life and your body, like that's everything. That's the difference between you and what you want. Your finances, another example. You say you want to be able to save money. You say you want to make a certain amount of money per year. When was the last time you sat down, sorted through your finances, actually looked at how much you're spending each month on takeout, on shopping, on all these extra expenses, and you're still living, this paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, and you're complaining about it? Why are you complaining if that's what you're choosing for yourself? What was the point of complaining about it when you have the power and you have the ability to change it? Just make the choice to change. And I know that there's systemic factors, and there's racial trauma, and there's mental health stuff, and there's a whole lot of systems in place that are meant to keep you oppressed, and they're doing a very good job, because the power of choice is a mental ability. It comes from your mind. Your mind dictates your actions. The systems in place have done a really good job at really infiltrating our minds and making us believe that every problem that we have is a problem of something beyond our control. They don't want you to know that, you know, you can change your life, you can break your habits, you can achieve a certain level of peace and health and happiness and success. And when I say success, I'm not talking about financial only. We do love financial abundance, but I'm talking about inner peace, happiness, a state of health where you're free of disease, mentally, physically. And it's all down to choice, guys. Like, it blows my mind how simple it is. Excuse me. But how complex we make it. So if there is a certain health goal that you have, guys, I'm not even, like, I did another video on this too, where, you know, I was struggling with like cavities and teeth that needed fillings, and I was so scared of the dentist. So I was in a place where I would rather sit there and have my teeth literally rotting in my mouth. I know it's disgusting. Than to go and face the dentist. And I was like making up all these excuses, like, you know, dentist is too expensive, and, you know, I don't trust the dentist, and the dentist is traumatizing. Yeah, it's all those things, but do you believe that you deserve good oral health? Do you believe that, you know, you deserve to be in a state of optimal health? And your oral health is directly linked to your heart health. It can even lead to conditions of the brain. If certain infections can lead to your brain, they can lead to your brain. They can lead to your heart as well. So your oral health is really important. So I just had to make the decision to go bite the bullet, set that money aside, and go to the dentist and fix everything. And now I'm just like, I love my teeth. Like, I have the best smile, great breath. Like, I even went beyond just like basic health care or dental care, and I went into like cosmetic dental care, where I got like bonding done, and I did stuff to make my smile like whiter and more beautiful. I always loved my smile. I always had a beautiful smile, but I just was not taking care of it the way that I should. And, you know, back to the finances, like, how often are you going through your finances? I know I touched on this, but do you have someone, if you don't know much about financial literacy, which is something I didn't know about, we didn't sit around the table and talk about finances. I mean, it was all about, you know, you need to save, make sure you save money. Oh gosh, I gotta go. I'll be quick. It was about, you know, you gotta save money, but nothing around investing or, you know, monitoring your cash flow or like setting budgets. Like, there was none of these conversations, nothing around investing. So I had to learn all of this on my own, and even me learning it was still a challenge. So I had to get an accountant to help me, and I meet with them regularly, almost like every week, where we go through my finances, we go through my taxes. I was letting a lot of financial stuff build up because I didn't understand how money worked. And I was working with one or two accountants prior to the one I have now, and they were great at doing the work, but I wasn't learning. Like, they weren't taking the time to teach me, and that was something that I really wanted to do and really wanted to learn, and I valued that piece. And so there was a lot of missed opportunity with that, because when my financial portfolio was sent to my new accountant, we had a lot of stuff. I didn't know what anything was. I had no idea where these numbers came from, where these reports came from. I didn't know where these files were being pulled. Like, there was no consistent meetings for me to understand. And so now, with this current one, we meet really regularly. So I'm on top of things. And I hated it at first. I hated it. I was like, please, can you just go through all my stuff and just tell me what I need, just tell me what you need and I'll just give it to you and you do it. He was like, no, you gotta sit through all your years of financial records and make it make sense for me, because I'm new and I don't know what all this means. If you don't know what it means, how am I supposed to know? So I was like, damn. But that really allowed me to come up with a better system for tracking my finances. So I was like, there's no way I'm doing this ever again. I'm going to be on top of this. I had a better system for tracking my finances. Downloaded Coho, which is like, my friend Nina put me onto it. And I swear it's like the financial tracking / banking app for millennials, because it has everything there. You can there's little sections where you can budget and you could set saving goals and investing goals. It's more than just a banking app. It's a credit app as well. They offer lines of credits. Really recommend Coho. But anyway, it was a choice. I was struggling financially because I chose to. And many of us are sitting here, we don't want to get a second job. And we don't want to, we don't want to start a business or do these things because we believe that our financial struggles are someone else's responsibility. But just think about, if you want to clear 6 figures, 7 figures, that type of person who has that money, what would they be doing on a day-to-day? I did another video on this already, but think about the person who is in optimal health, that person that you envision for yourself. What would they be doing? Are they going to be sitting around eating chips all day? They're moving their behinds, and they are making good healthy choices for what they consume, both food and media, or what they watch or what they listen to. Think about the ideal partner that you want. You want this person to, be a spiritual person, to love their mama, to have a great relationship with their family, to be simple things like have good hygiene. You want them to, look good, at least take care of their health. Looking good is not a size thing. It's about confidence. It's also about, do you take care of your health? Do you, have a certain level of prioritization when it comes to your fitness? It doesn't mean you got to be a bodybuilder, but do you at least exercise on a regular basis? Do you make good food choices? Good food choices are relative, but are they similar to the way that you eat? Because the kitchen could be a battleground. I'll tell you that right now. If you eat a certain kind of way, your partner eats a certain kind of way, there's no agreement when it comes to meal times. And meal time's supposed to be a time for sharing and connecting. So what your mate eats is really important. So you're envisioning this person. He maybe drives a certain car. Maybe he or she has a certain, has a certain income that you want, look a certain way. But you keep attracting these duds. Shout out to Rashida, because she did a reading on me not long ago, and she's like, girl, everyone around you is a bunch of duds right now. This is a while back. But anyway, If you feel like there's a bunch of duds around you, why are you attracting that? How is your income? How is your fitness? How is your health? How is your mental health? Because the type of person that you say you want, they also want a certain type of person. They don't want just, a Build-A-Bear. They also want someone who has a certain level of stability and responsibility and self-care practices, a certain level of faith and responsibility. So if you're attracted to something that you don't like, whether it's, excuse me, God, these walks get me going. All this air I'm swallowing after eating a nice lunch. Anyway, if you're attracting, certain friendships or relationships or financial standing or a certain health challenge that you're trying to overcome, these are the things that are in your life that you're not happy with, and you keep attracting them. Just remember, you are what you attract, and you have the ability to attract more, to attract better. The choice is literally yours. Once you decide, and once you choose to do better, to become better, to really take care of yourself, and not just take care of yourself in the vain sense of just just makeup and looking cute when people are watching. What do you do when people are not watching? Because those habits that you have in secret are really who you truly are and what you truly believe about yourself. So what do you really believe about yourself? How much do you really care about yourself? Because that is going to define what you attract. Okay? Go to bed cute, wake up cute, eat well, take care of yourself, love yourself, and choose better. We have the ability to choose. All right, y'all. Take care. Bye.